Mike, what's good?
Big Rob, what it do, man?
Not much, man. Another episode, man. Men lie, women lie, numbers lie too, man. Good to see you again.
Always, always,
Definitely,
man.
definitely. Man, let's jump right into it, man.
Let's do it.
Did you come? I'm assuming you came across the Chris Paul situation. With
Yeah,
his being released from the team, I definitely want to get your thoughts on that.
yeah, I did. I mean, you know, that type of stuff is multifaceted. One, very seldomly we see that this go right pertaining to like superstars at the end of their career coming off the bench, that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when they are similar to Chris Paul. And what I mean by that is, the media, they give all the beautiful attributes to a dude. Like, he's a floor general, this, that, and the third. But I was one of them. So I'll speak on that. When it comes to being a floor general, most dudes that's a floor general is a dickhead as well. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't be a floor general without some dickheadness. And Chris Paul looked like the ultimate dickhead. Like even pertaining to his early years to now, like you can tell son is a dickhead, right? And
Yeah.
that goes fine when someone gave you the keys to the car. Once someone gave you the keys to the car and you able to really kind of move an organization, these things can go extremely well if a dude is competent and knowledgeable, which Chris Paul is, and he's extremely talented. So what happens when that dude now becomes the 15th man on a roster and he don't really like what the coach is doing? Well, it's no different than watching trains collide. Like this shit is about to be a collision. And that's the only thing that took place. It was a collision based on basketball minds. These niggas are 6 and 17. If anybody know pertaining to locker rooms, this ain't a good locker room right now, especially when you have competitive dudes that want to win. So somebody like Chris Paul, are you questioning play calls now? Are you questioning schematics? Of course you are. Y'all 6 and
Mm.
17, yo. Y'all 6 and 17. So y'all niggas is losing way more than y'all sniffing wins. And now you got a dickhead at the end of the bench that got a basketball mind. Yo, this ain't about to go well, especially if y'all don't see eye to eye, right? The same things that you appreciate from a lot of these floor generals is the same things you going to hate.
Mm.
Everybody can't play with these type of players because the way they address certain things, how they demand certain things out of their teammates, how they want to kind of run the show. That's cool when you the best player and looked at as the franchise player. But now when you the 15th dude on a roster, ain't nobody trying to hear that shit.
True.
So most people are willing to accept certain, and I don't even want to say it's negative traits. It's just how you do things when results are well. When results are well, you have a lot more latitude being a Hall of Fame point guard to kind of do it your way, especially when you're the franchise player. And
Mm-hmm.
again, you're not the franchise player at this point. You the 15th dude on a roster, questioning the coach probably, telling dudes how they should be playing a pick and roll, getting into intricate details pertaining to the game that you and the coaching staff may not be seeing eye to eye. So again, I don't fault anyone pertaining to this. Sometimes you just go on clash. And to me, this was just a collision that took place. due to all the circumstances. Of one, I'm not sure Chris Paul could ever be the 15th dude on a roster just because of how vocal he is and being a floor general and all of those different things. The only way that works is if he's seeing eye to eye with the coaching staff and he's basically pushing a message. But if y'all losing and y'all 6 and 17, 13th in the West, yeah, I don't think he's going to be saying the same things the coaching staff is saying, which is ultimately, like I said, is going to lead to the collision. So, again, it's sad to say, based on a Hall of Famer and seeing a lot of these dudes, whether it's Chris Paul or Allen Iverson, or we could keep naming guys that on the latter end of their career, it just doesn't work out how people thought it would work out because of all of these other things, that take place in the game of basketball.
Yeah, I have. And I love the way you wrote that down. I have mixed feelings on this though. Um, and one of my mixed feelings on this is on Chris Paul. And when you at the end of the bench at this point of your career, I don't care what you don't like. Like you riding off, like it's clear you riding off to the sunset. So I get it if you still playing and you playing at a high level and you still and that competitive spirit is kicking in and you trying to do what's necessary to win. But why the hell, after a while, if y'all want to be losers, and I know this is my last year anyway, yo, I don't got time for this shit. Like, I'm chilling. I'm chilling. I'm like at this point, yo, I'm riding off to the sunset. I want my last go around. Obviously, it ain't gonna go the way I planned on top or with wins. Yo, it's a wrap. I'm chilling. I'm enjoying my ride, my last go around, and I'm going about my business. Especially if I already expressed. eh, Nah, I see you shaking your head, but hold on, hear me out. Especially if
Yeah, I'm
I already
listening.
expressed whatever I have an issue with the coach. And I think that's the bigger problem here going on. Is dudes got too many honey ways. And that goes from Ty Lue, and this is just me from looking from the outside looking in, but just from the information we do have, right? That's goes
Mm-hmm.
from the coach to Ty Lue, dudes in their ego and their pride, and that goes from the player as well, right? Because number one, they made it seem like Chris Paul, and I don't know if that's true, that's the way they made it seem, that he was expressing things behind the coaching staff back, right? Of
Mm-hmm.
these things he have issue with and however they doing things and they run things. Yo, that's a no-go, period. You're a legend in this game. It ain't like your voice is shouldn't be heard. Like I'm sure that if Chris Paul have any suggestions on how things should be going or how things should be running, I would think if they're a smart staff will listen. I think he have earned that credibility over the years. So that's number one. So if there was any discussion behind back, that's corny to me. That's number one. Then number two, why I say I have mixed feelings, is on Talu and the coaching staff end. I be feeling like dudes be having too much ego and pride sometimes. That's just uncalled for,
Mm-hmm.
right? So even after all this blows up, whatever the case might be, for you to feel like you shouldn't, like I'm not meeting with the dude, it's crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy to me because even after whatever may have escalated, maybe it is just a situation y'all didn't get in a room together and speak, and maybe it's something simple that can be resolved and get on the same page and allow that man to ride out, and maybe he do have things that can help this team win. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say I had mixed feelings. Part of it because if I'm not to the point, I get it. Dudes want to win, right? So if I'm having that type of commitment to wanting to win, number one, it shouldn't be no talk. Dudes talking about you talking behind the coach's back and all. Like you could, whatever you have to express, he should be able to express that directly to the coach. And if that atmosphere is not created within a team, then it's a problem anyway. What
Yeah.
you got him for? Because We all know Chris Paul at this point in his career is not physically, he's not the Chris Paul of his prime. We all know
Mm-hmm.
this is kind of just his last run, him trying to go on a team that he feel like he can help, not just necessarily physically, but mentally. That's what he's there for. And whatever
Mm-hmm.
he could provide physically is a plus. You get what I'm saying? So he's almost like an extension of the coaching staff. So I just don't understand how that get to a point and how that relationship is not built where it's so-called talks behind the back and coach feeling like he don't got to meet with him and I don't want to meet with him and to me it's just a bunch of honey stuff going on. I feel like if it's a face-to-face conversation, I guarantee from the outside looking in, this get resolved, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
because one over here, and I don't want to speak to you, because whatever you're coaching ego, and you probably feel like he got more of the locker room attention than you have, and so I don't really want to talk, and he's whatever rapping his mouth about whatever you doing that he feel you doing wrong, and it's come on, this is like if the goal is to win, good teams understand you must speak face to face and say whatever got to be said, and even sometimes when it ain't the nicest thing to be said. You get what I'm saying? Or the best thing to be said from the outside looking in. Sometimes that's what need to be done in order to create a winning team. You would be surprised just based off of those conversations where teams is able to elevate to. You get what I'm saying? And able to come to some understanding. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like the whole situation, but go ahead.
Yeah, you cleaned it up a little bit. I was shaking my head because you was talking wild crazy. That's why I
Nah,
was
I
shaking
was
my
talking
head.
crazy.
Like you was talking wild crazy. I'm not sure if you got a nap today or you didn't get a
Nah,
nap or
dude.
whatever the case may be, but you was talking wild crazy. And here's what I say. Here's what I
Gotcha.
say pertaining to this, because I agree with you on the latter part when you started cleaning it up. When you got your mop and started cleaning up,
Nah,
cleaning up what the hell you were saying. Yo, I agree
I'm
with
gonna
that.
go back to what I was saying because I know what
Yeah,
I
yeah,
said, son.
yeah.
Like
But I'm
I
a look. I'm gonna
go
address it right now. I'm gonna
go ahead.
address it right now. I agree with you wholeheartedly when it comes to Ty Lue and not actually communicating with Chris Paul. That's honey stuff. That's honey stuff at the end of the day. And any good organization and good coach has an open door policy, especially when it comes to a Hall of Famer, whether you agree with him or not.
Exactly.
Your door should be open where y'all guys, as men, can look one another in the eye and communicate directly, whether you agree or disagree. So that's not what I was discussing. I agree with you wholeheartedly. What I don't agree with you, and you had to start mopping up and all that to clean it up,
I ain't have to
is
clean it up. Go ahead.
no, you did. You definitely had to clean it
Nah, I
up. It was
definitely
real
did.
messy,
Go
son. It was
ahead.
real messy, and you
Go
had to clean
ahead.
it up. But
Go ahead.
what you had to clean up was you saying, "Yo, this is his last year. Yo, he could just sit, ride it out, and if you losing, you losing, whatever." Let me make this clear to you, yo. Chris Paul is a pit bull. Ty Lue know he's a pit bull. Chris Paul know he's a pit bull. You can't take a pit bull that know they're a pit bull and try to turn them into a chihuahua at this stage.
He on
If
the
you're gonna
bench.
try to,
That's my
yo,
problem
you
with all this,
can't.
Mike. You ain't
Let
really playing.
let me
So what we
say this
talking about?
again. Let me say this again. You can't take a pit bull that know they a pit bull and turn them into a chihuahua. It's not going to happen, yo. So when you
Nah.
having these discussions, listen to me. When you having these discussions pertaining to whether we should bring Chris Paul in, these are some of the discussions that you need to have. He is who he is at this point. Chris Paul has been vocal his entire career. You think because it's his last year now, he gonna sit there and shut up and just go with the flow? Because it's his last year, dudes is still competitive. You know this. Regardless of what age you become, you can't turn off that competitive fire like that. You just are who you are, yo. So just because he's sitting on a bench don't mean he still don't got that competitive fire and want to win games and want to be associated with a winning team and a winning organization, especially if it's his last year. You want to go out feeling good, like you accomplished something, not being a laughing stock of the NBA. These dudes are 6 and 17, yo. If you 6 and 17 and you got a floor general, let me make this clear. Not too many things is being said nicely. So you're not worrying about people's feelings when you 6 and 17,
Oh,
yo.
let me say this, Mike. Let me add this. Let me add this, and let me make it clear what I'm saying now. I'm going from the
Yeah, get
perspective
your
that
mop.
nah, it ain't nothing to mop
Get
up.
your
I'm going.
look,
Look,
get your mom.
fuck out of here. Yo,
get your
look,
get your mom, man.
I'm
Coming to
going from the
America, yo.
perspective, son. Come to
take, take, take that mop out the bucket too, son. Come, you like coming to America right now, son. Get that mop and clean this
Yo,
up, man.
son,
Clean this up,
you
yo.
saw what son did coming to America. Son, he quit that job.
yo, yo, and yo, don't thank you him though, son.
Son,
The
he quit
man
that
had
job
his
and put
own
a
money.
where he
The
had like a jacuzzi in the apartment.
Yeah, the man had his own money. That's all I'm gonna say, man. The man had his own money, yo.
Son, he have his own money. He was the help. Well, I ain't talking
I'm
about he
not
was the
talking
help.
about him. I'm not
Oh,
talking about him. I'm talking about Hakeem, son.
yeah, but
You
I
remember?
remember Hakeem was working. Ain't Hakeem didn't quit. It was the help
Yeah.
that
See,
was like,
see,
yo,
you too young, man. You too young. So now I gotta school you on this, yo.
what?
When he went to McDowell's, yo, my man gave him the mop and a bucket, telling him like what his duties was gonna be. But because Hakeem was the prince. So he ain't know how to mop. So he just started mopping with the mop in a bucket. You
Oh
know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
And like
yeah.
that's you right now. You get what I'm saying? Like, yo, make sure you clean this up, man.
Yo,
Make
anyway,
sure
son, we
make
get
sure
off
the mop
topic,
hit the
son.
floor,
Yo,
man. Make
let me
sure the
get back
mop hit
on
the floor.
topic.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying,
Nobody got to
man.
mop nothing up, but let me get back on topic. I was speaking from the perspective, son, that assuming that they did have a conversation, assuming that they did, I would hope that they did, but that's not the way it been presented. It seemed like at least that's the way they made it presented. They try to present it like Chris Paul was basically talking behind the staff back to the team. You know what I'm saying? Basically, like trying to create, in other words, what people would consider a distraction or division or a
Yeah.
cancer in the locker
And I
room
don't condone none of that.
type.
And I don't
Exactly,
condone none of that.
but
Yeah,
here's
but
where I'm
God.
going with this. Here I'm going with this. Assuming that they had the conversation, right? Duke, you not playing. You not like because Paul at this point he's not really playing. So assuming that they had the conversation, and obviously you couldn't get through the Tyloo or whatever you was trying to make. You get what I'm saying? And that coaching staff. Yo, at this point, you on your way out the door. It's a wrap. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a wrap. Yo, enjoy the ride out the door, even though it ain't the way that you want to go. Enjoy the ride out the door. It ain't nothing. All this, so again, allegedly, assuming that what they saying is accurate, of talking to dudes about how you feel with this and that and the fake cancerous and yo, all that is corny to me.
Yeah.
All that is corny to me. So that's why I said I had mixed feelings. It ain't nothing to clean up. It's like, yo, Duke, you ain't playing.
Yeah. No, but
Sit
what I'm
your
saying,
behind
you
on the bench and ride it out. And ain't nothing
yeah,
else to be
see, but
said.
that's what you need to clean up. That's what I'm trying to
Nah,
explain
it
to
ain't
you.
nothing to clean up. Cause I'm
Just
assuming, Mike, at this point, yo, it ain't your team. This ain't Chris Paul of this is my team. This is Chris Paul on the bench. This is Chris Paul
I
on the
get that.
bench. So I understand the Chris Paul, this is my team. And now I ain't gonna ride it out because I'm out here busting my ass, sweat, and everything to win games. So we gonna figure this out one way or another. But when you on the end of the bench your last year and you riding out, yo, you because at this point, Duke, you more of part of the coaching staff than you as a player. It's almost like
But
an
it's
assistant coach not agreeing with the head coach and feeling like now he gonna disrupt the team to you get what I'm saying? Create some type of disturbance in the locker room. Not yo, Duke. When you become a head coach, you get to make those shots. You express what you need to express. Whatever the head coach is not on board with it, you sit your ass down. You ride it out.
yeah, see, you're
That's
not
it.
getting it. You're not getting it, and that's why I used the analogy. You can't turn a pit bull into a chihuahua. You know better than most. If a dude was a floor general, he was the coach. So let's make this clear. Chris Paul has been coaching since he's been playing. So don't look at this dude like he wasn't coaching. The floor general is the coach. He is calling the shots.
But
So
he's
this is
not
no
that no
different.
more, Mike.
This
He's
no,
not
he
that
but
no
he
more.
is who he is. That's what I'm trying to explain. So whether he became an assistant coach or he's still a 15th dude on the bench,
But Mike,
he
you got
still
no
got that
control.
same type of
Hear what
fire.
I'm saying, Mike. You have no control. I get the fire, but don't matter how much fire I have in me, that fire
So
gonna
let
be
me ask you a
directed.
question. Mark, man, let me ask you a question.
Fuck out of here.
So, yo, let me ask you a
I
question.
got you,
You
son.
get what I'm saying? So, just so I'm hearing you correctly, right?
Yep.
You got competitive fire just like me, right?
Yep.
Let's throw age out the window. Let's throw age out the window. But all right, you sitting on the bench. Cool, right? Your team is 6-17. Let me repeat that. 6-17. You competitive. You want to win games. You have been coaching your entire career. You are a floor general. You telling me you're going to sit there, shut up, not give no input, no guidance, no nothing, and say to
You
yourself,
ready for
this
the
my
answer?
last year. No, this my last year. I'ma just watch this implode in front of me, and I'ma just sit here and shut up because it ain't really got nothing to do
You
with
you
me.
know you know
I'm
you
gonna
know
take my
why?
last year.
You know why? You know why?
And just
Because
answer that.
what
Don't
I'm not
dance
doing.
around it. Don't
No, I'm
dance around
answering.
it.
Let me answer the
All right.
question.
All
What I'm
right.
not doing is I'm not going and bitching to the team on how I feel. So after I expressed to that coach, one time, two times, maybe even three times, whatever that needed to be expressed, and nothing have changed, guess what I'm gonna do? Because I'm not in a position to change nothing because I'm not on the court. You ain't playing because when you playing, you could kind of react and do as you please, right? You're not playing, so you're not in a position to change nothing. I may be heated, I may be mad because niggas is losing, but guess what I'm gonna do? Sit my ass right on that bench and accept it. What the hell you about to do? But you gonna
Yeah.
go
See,
bitching to the teammates
look, look.
about how you feel? That ain't about to
That
accomplish nothing
yo,
either.
that's
That get
cool.
your
Look,
that
you
so
answered my
either that
question.
or this is my last thing. I'm going to the office and I'm saying, yo, trade me. Trade me. I'd
Look,
rather that before you
this
start
is
bitching in the
last
locker
year,
room.
Rod. Look, based on your answer, now I know when I'm putting dudes in a category of
I know
pit
you.
bull or chihuahua.
I know you about to say something
Yo, we
different.
know which one you are. Cause you a
Man,
chihuahua. You know what I'm saying?
man,
Like
it don't
a
got nothing
pit
to do with
bull.
that, son.
Look, no, and this
Son,
is
it just
I'll
yo,
explain.
what you
Rob,
fighting a battle that don't make no sense. You gotta
let
know
me
when you
explain.
fighting a battle that don't make no sense.
But let me explain why a pit bull is not taking that approach. Because you have motivated people all your life to do things when you are a floor general. So just because you're not playing don't mean you can't put some type of input to help the team get on the right track. You seeing things that other dudes isn't seeing, you trying to push buttons to motivate dudes. It's no different than what you being on the court. It's just that you can't really help them between the lines right now because you're not playing. But you know that your words matter. He's a Hall of Famer. So if he feel like he could push buttons to change the trajectory of a
But Mike,
bum team,
according to what they saying, he not pushing
that
button.
got
That's different. You
what I'm
changing the
saying,
narrative,
right?
Mike.
The team got the talent. They got the talent, and they 6-17.
Mike,
So
but you changing the narrative because it's one thing you saying pushing buttons. That's cool. I'm all for that.
but
But they
you
made it
saying sit
seem
down and
like he
shut up.
creating a cancer in the locker room. That's
I'm not
different.
talking about that. I'm
But
just
that's what
talking
they. That's the
about
picture they gave.
even when I addressed it earlier, what I said that Chris Paul, just like most floor generals, are dickheads. So I'm going from the standpoint that we clashing. Not that I'm going behind your back and doing la 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 and this, that, and the third.
But
They
that's
knew
where
who
my
they
standpoint was coming
Rob,
from when it came to Chris
Rob,
Paul. That's where my standpoint was
Rob.
coming from.
What I'm saying is they know who they got on their team. Everyone knew Chris Paul makeup. This isn't nothing new that people didn't know that he was a floor general, that sometimes he gonna rub people the wrong way, whatever the case may be, based on his approach. This isn't new information. This isn't new information. And
I
this is what
got
I'm
that.
talking about pertaining to them clashing, because this ain't new information. And for Ty Lue not to meet with the dude, to me, that's more honey than anything. That's why
I
I agree
said
with
that.
you. Yeah,
I
but
said
that's
that with
why
both
I
of them.
agree. When you pulled out your mop and you started mopping, I said I agree.
Nah,
I,
it wasn't nothing to mop up,
I
son.
said I
Look,
agree with that. But you
look.
look, you
I
trying to
said
turn
with
a
both
pit.
of them, they both did honey shit. They both did honey shit when it come down to it. They
No,
both
because
did
you
honey
assume. No,
shit.
no. Hold on.
But
Hold
what
on.
I'm saying with
Rob,
Chris Paul,
you assuming Chris Ball talk behind their back. You
I'm just
assuming
going
that.
from the reports.
We
Now, I've been
know
said that.
Ty Lue, but we know Ty Lue didn't meet with the nigga. So I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt because I know floor generals. This dude ain't just walking around whispering.
I don't
I'm
know
pretty
Chris Paul
sure,
though. I don't know son to speak on his character in that manner. So I'm just going from the
yo, if
reports.
you watch Chris Paul play, everything he do is with a certain level of intensity. He's like a little
Yeah,
pit
but
bull,
some of these
yo.
dudes is honeys,
So
Mike.
you
They
think,
honeys, man.
yeah,
They honeys. So I'm not giving that dude no pass
but
like
you
that. I
think,
don't know something like that to give him that type of pass. I can only go from the reports. And now if he
yeah,
come
I'm
out and
just
say
saying.
that ain't true or whatever the case might be, that's different.
All right, so Rob, so you saying based on the NBA culture that guys don't have a reputation?
I don't really know Chris Paul reputation when it come to that. Cause he always let me say this.
You
He
doing a
always
lot of
no
sliding, dipping, and
son.
dodging, son.
Nah,
Based
yo,
on the NBA culture, do you believe that dudes have reputations?
I answer you yes. But
Okay,
now
so
when it comes, I know where
What
you
you
going
think
with
Chris
this.
Paul
I know
reputation
where you
is?
going. Chris Paul always been the dude. He always been the guy. So I
No,
don't
no,
know
no.
how. Hold up. Let me finish this sentence. I don't know how he respond when he not getting his way. That's what I'm saying. The difference when you the guy on the court. If Chris Paul clashed with any coach in the past, he can handle it how he want to handle it. He on the court, and what the coach gonna tell him, he'll probably get a coach fired. Now you not in that situation. Your ass went home. This Chris Paul in his prime. Chris Paul ain't going home. Ty Lue ass going home. So how do dudes respond when they not in control? I don't know. So we can't just go off his history because there's no history to show how he respond. There's no history to show how he respond. Do he go and start mouthing off in the locker room, or do he move with a certain code and integrity? I don't know that dude like that to say yay or nay. I'm just going from the reports, and that's why I said he come out and deny that, like yo, that wasn't the case. Then I'm gonna take his word for it. But until then, I'm just going from what's in front of us. I'm not giving him the benefit of doubt, yay or nay. I don't know.
And this conversation is a little bit more nuanced than what we got into because we haven't even touched on the location this took place. Like Chris Paul literally brung the Clippers from the graveyard. You
I
get what I'm
agree.
saying? Like
I
literally
agree. I
from the
wasn't feeling that
graveyard.
just for that alone. But go ahead.
So it's a level of respect that need to be given at that point.
I agree.
Even if y'all disagree, it's time to play politics. Yo, you not, and again, this is a man-to-man conversation. Ty Lue, yo, I had enough of what you got going on, my man. Because of what you did for this franchise and all of these different things, I'm gonna allow you to come out with a statement saying this, that, and the third. You could have
Yeah.
handled this
But
way
that's why I was talking
better.
about the honey shit, Mike. The
Yeah,
honey shit. This is straight
I'm
honey shit.
agreeing with you there. But to do this in a place that this dude kind of, like I said,
Help
revived
build.
from the
Yeah.
graveyard. Like Lob City, dudes forget because these dudes ain't win chips. Lob City was what it was, yo. Lob City was what it was. And it's no Lob City without Chris Paul and what he actually did, bringing that franchise to some type of notoriety. These dudes was the baby brothers in LA, and they was a laughing stock. They was the baby brothers.
I
And
agree.
it makes sense why they was the baby brothers for so long. When you going to deal with a Hall of Famer of this nature, you literally kicking this dude out of his hotel room at whatever 2, 3 in the morning, talking about we had enough of you. You gotta go. You dismissed. What?
Yeah, yeah,
And
and
who is
let
Ty
me.
Lue? And who is Ty Lue to even be doing this? This
Yeah,
dude got that one LeBron chip. I don't even know how good some of these dudes could coach. I'ma just keep it a buck.
yeah.
Like, I don't know how good some of these dudes can even coach when it comes to them making these type of decisions. And that's part of the problem. Because again, I'm gonna go back to the pit bull in Chihuahua. We know who you are, the Chihuahua.
Fuck out of
We don't gotta
here.
go back, right? The pit bull, forget your title, forget whatever rings you have. They're gonna make you earn that respect with your what? With your mind, right?
Yeah,
Show me you are a good coach. Show me your X and O's. Show me your strategy. Show me. And when you got somebody questioning you like that and you not getting results, aka 6 and 17, yeah, a clash happens. A clash happens. And I don't have a problem with Chris Paul clashing late in his career like this, because if you don't love the game, I don't want you sitting on the end of a bench just to get a paycheck. Go home, man.
no,
Go
that's real.
home.
That's
You
real.
get what I'm saying? You put
That's
too
real.
much
And
time and
look, this one,
energy, but
and
you put too much time and energy into this stuff, yo, to
yeah,
just
yeah,
get
that's
a
a fact.
paycheck.
That's a fact.
Especially these type of dudes. They done made enough money. So if you don't got no love for the game, you don't really care. Yo, it is what it is. Go home. Don't be sitting at
No,
the
that's
end
a
of a
fact.
bench. Let another young dude get that opportunity as the 15 man if you're not going to try to put your input on that team. That's why I said I have no issue with Chris Paul seeing something he don't like and voicing his opinion
Yeah,
like
but
he
the
always
again,
has.
Mike, you're still basing off of that he voiced it to Tyloo. So you just giving
I'm
him the
pretty
benefit
sure
of
he
the doubt.
voiced it
Hold
to
up.
Ty Lue. Look, based on the
You,
reports, Rob, I heard Chris Paul asked to meet with Ty Lue. I'm just saying.
yeah, but that was
I,
after the situation.
yeah, I
That
don't
wasn't
care if it's
before.
after, but I don't care if it's
Yeah, so
after.
I'm not giving him the benefit of doubt just because he once you realize that you ain't calling shots like you used to and your ass about to get sent home, then you want to meet. Like, yo, come on. I'm not like both of these dudes to me they're honey shit. But to piggyback what you were saying earlier, which I agree 100%.
Yeah,
Don't matter how this played out. Don't matter how this played out. There's no way you send Chris Paul home the way you did. And my problem with the league, period, is with Hall of Famers after they prime, they just show that they could just spit them out.
yeah. It's a
They just
lack of
show they could
respect.
just spit them out, and it's ridiculous. I mean, it's a lot of these dudes what they have put into the NBA, and then especially some of these teams, it be their own teams that they built up.
That's
You
what
get
I'm
what I'm
saying.
saying?
The
What they
Clipper
have put into the
organization,
NBA and what they have put into some of these organizations, for them to not have the right to leave on their own terms, it's crazy to me. Like you said, it's just a straight lack of respect. Like
yeah.
it just shows once I feel I don't need you, then everything else go out the window.
And
You know
Rob,
what I'm
we
saying?
know,
And
Rob,
after you know certain legends and Hall of Famers that built and put what they put into this game and put what they put into some of these organizations, there's no way you send that dude home like that.
and look,
There's no
Rob, we
way.
know, Rob, we know at the end of the day it's a business. So dudes got paid for their services. Cool, great. But it gotta go beyond that, especially when a dude put his blood, sweat, and tears into trying to build, an organization. Like, it
Yeah,
has to be some type of level of respect that comes with that. We get is a bunch of these Hall of Fame dudes that want to play way past their prime. We know they don't got it. They still want the same level of respect. Cool. You get eventually it's going to be a clash with the organization. Like, yo, enough is enough, and yo, we got to move on and we got to do what's best for our organization. To me, this wasn't that type of situation. Chris Paul
yeah,
already said, this is my last year.
exactly.
So for you to not try to usher him out with a level of respect, even though y'all having some
And
disagreements,
gratitude, yeah.
is wild crazy. I
I
said, yo,
agree.
it's wild crazy to me. But look, we could be on this all day. You go because, like I
Yeah, yeah,
said, at the end of the day, you don't change a pit bull into a chihuahua. It just it doesn't work that way. It just
yeah,
don't work that way. And for a dude like Ty Lue to not want to meet with this dude, I don't care if your meeting was 10 seconds. And you said, yo, this is the meet. I'm over you, yo. You disrespectful, you da da da, this, that, and the third. Your time here is done.
yeah. But like I said, it's honey shit.
But you say
It's honey
that
stuff.
to his face, man. You
Exactly.
say
It's
that to
honey stuff.
his face.
But I feel like that's why I said from both dudes, I just feel like it's honey stuff. Ty Lue, how you do not say that from the beginning, how you not meet with him. That's number one. And number two, if the reports are true, and I'm gonna keep saying if it's true, that someone's basically talking behind the staff back in the locker room, seeming like he's creating division. If it's true, then I think that's some honey shit. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm not getting none of these dudes the benefit of the doubt because I know a lot of these dudes got honey ways. So we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that there. But for the most
Yeah.
part, I
Yeah,
agree with you.
yeah,
You
we'll
know what
leave
I'm
it at
saying?
that, yo.
Besides,
Put your put your
thinking like a
put your
chihuahua.
mark. Yeah. Oh,
He's trying to cut
snap,
that shit on me.
son.
Fuck out of
Yo,
here.
if dudes had told me, son, that you was gonna wind up being in Chihuahua today, I would have told them they was a lie, yo. But this is
I
how
hear
it this
you.
how it played out, son. This how it played out,
I
you
hear
know.
you.
So
Yo, talking about fucking chihuahuas and pit bulls, son. We actually got a fight coming up, man. Uh Pit bull versus the dude that fought Tank. What's his name?
the roach, right?
Oh, Pitbull versus the Roach. Yeah, that's crazy. What's up? That's crazy.
uh,
Yo,
uh,
that's the real last name, right, Roach? That's not a
yeah, yeah,
nickname,
it's
right?
Roach.
It's
Yeah, it's
Roach.
Roach.
Pitbull versus
Yeah.
alright, yo, just over that, I think I know who I got winning. But yo, who you got for this
Yeah.
fight, son?
Yeah, again, you and I are probably going to disagree on this
Okay,
because I'm not sure if Pitbull is the same fighter he was a few years ago.
good point.
Yeah, he could try to put certain pressure, but based on the technical skill I seen Roach display against Javante, I think he'll be able to weather what Pitbull has in the tank now. I think it would have been a different type of fight maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I'm not sure exactly what Pitbull has left in the tank. Yeah, he's going to come and pressure you. He's going to come and do certain things. He's always the smaller guy. So he's going to have to take chances. He's going to have to reach. He's going to try to have to get in the inside. And I think Roach has some technical skills based on what he showed me against Javante Davis that he should be able to kind of weather that and counter them and, do certain things. Because again, I don't believe this is prime pit bull. If this was prime pit bull, I think we'd be having a different discussion.
Good point. I didn't think about that, which you definitely had me thinking there. Where just Pitbull's at in his career, 100%. Um, but I'm gonna just assume he still got a lot left in the tank. I could be wrong on this, and you could be 100% right. But I'm leaning towards Pitbull, and the reason that is not necessarily more of a Pitbull or anything on his doing. It's more on the Roach dude. I feel like the fight against Tank. Um, I feel it just had so many things going on. That I think he displayed a showing better than what he is. And what I mean by that, Tank being from Baltimore, him being from DC. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like just that proximity of where they located at. I think he just came in with a different hunger. Think he came in extremely prepared. I think he just had a mindset that he wasn't willing to just go down. Like when Tank hit him with shots that probably would have put certain dudes down, I think just from a pride standpoint, he wasn't going to go down. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
when you watch that fight, he stood there in the pocket and took whatever Tank threw at him and was willing to return
Mm-hmm.
fire. So I think we probably saw the best, and I could be wrong. I would be surprised if that same rope show up tonight. I think just due to the proximity of who he was fighting, of Tank being from Baltimore and him being right there, and you always got that little Baltimore versus DC kind of rivalry thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you just got a different sense of pride. It's almost like a rivalry game. You know what I'm saying? It's like a rivalry game. You know those games where a team should be getting blown the hell out when you just look at talent, but
Mm-hmm.
just due to the rivalry, they playing with a different sense of pride that they just not really willing to go down or get dominated. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that's what happened with that Roach fight. So in other words, I'm not really a believer yet. This fight could change my mind, but I'm not really a believer yet. I think he just fought that fight with so much pride. Um, that he showed more than maybe what I think he's going to show moving forward. Um, as a styles make fights, um, he didn't show me really much boxing ability from the outside. That's number one. He showed me that he's willing to trade. Um, and I just don't know if that's the best style for Pitbull. I mean, dude's called Pitbull for a reason. If he still have anything left in the tank of Pitbull in the prime or close to it, I don't think that's the best style. Even when we watched Tank fight Pitbull, he fought him pretty much on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He didn't fight him. I'm just gonna sit in there. And I think if he go in there with that same style, I don't know if not only do I think he lose this fight, I think he lose it pretty convincingly, if not get laid out. I think pride and probably his adrenaline and all that got him through that Tank fight. I don't really see him if he come in with that same style. I don't see him getting through this fight. I think that was just more of a rivalry matchup. Um, I think you was a little bit more impressed of his performance against Tank than I was. And
Yeah.
then I think he's coming in a little big headed too. Just from feeling like you competed with the best of that weight class. And then I feel like Tank been distracted. I feel like not to make no excuses for him, but I feel like Tank been distracted. I don't feel like Tank been at his best. Tank lately just been looking for knockouts. I don't think Tank is kind of mentally there. So I don't even think he fought the best of Tank, honestly. Um, yeah, I'm not convinced on him. I don't see him winning this fight. I definitely, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets stopped. To be honest with you,
Look, I understand your point of view. I think you and I was in agreement pertaining to he didn't get the best version of Tank. I think we agree pertaining to that. I think if the rematch had taken place, I think Tank stops him like he stopped most people. But watching that fight, I did see some technical things that he did well in there, which will bode well pertaining to a smaller fighter like Pitbull. He did a lot of, when it comes to counter punching, he did a lot of good counter punching. And when you got a dude like Pitbull that's just 100 miles per hour head first, smaller than you, just keep running in there trying to do whatever. And you able to really counter him and be technical to a degree because that's what he showed when he was in the pocket. We know how Tank set up traps. Tank ain't just, I'm going to walk you down and knock you out. I think this is the biggest falsehood in boxing that they try to portray Tank like he Mike Tyson or
but let
something
me say
like
this,
that.
Mike. Tank fought that fight that style though. He fought that style like I'ma just walk through him. He didn't fight. Tank didn't fight that fight. And that's what I mean by distraction. He didn't fight that fight as he normally would. He got in there and just I'ma walk through you, and he sat in the pocket with him and traded with him. You know what I'm saying? Like they did. Tank probably did more trading in that fight than I watched any other fight.
Yeah, and again, I'm not disagreeing with you, but what I'm saying is a lot of times when Tank starts to set his traps up, just from an IQ standpoint, most dudes can't really compete. Eventually they fold to the mental pressure that Tank is putting on these dudes. And I don't think a lot of talking analysts and all of that stuff give this dude credit for his IQ of
I agree.
boxing, yo. Like he literally walks dudes into traps and literally turn their lights off. Turn their lights off when they walk into that trap. And that's not what we accustomed to seeing throughout really the history of boxing for dudes that's like one hitter quitters like a Tank. Like he
Yeah.
don't gotta hit you with no combination. He can hit you with one good shot on a button and it is over.
Night night.
Your lights is literally turned off.
Yeah.
So for a dude to be standing in front of that, and I think in the beginning, Tank was trying to set up certain things. I just felt like Tank felt like the Roach dude was getting off, and eventually he kind of got away from his game plan and said, I'm going to bully him because he felt like he got the ability to do that, which was probably the wrong fight to fight. And Son had a couple of little technical skills, like you said. He probably looked it better than what he should have looked with Tank, but regardless, he still showed he was skilled. And I think his skill is still going to overcome a aging pit bull based on the size and the skill between them. I believe Roach wins this fight. Period.
Mm. Yeah, I'm curious to see. I'm not sold on Roach yet. You know what I'm saying? You know, pit bulls stick with pit bulls. You know what I'm saying?
No,
It says a
yeah,
lot. It says a lot
no.
about
So
who
he
you choose
ain't
to
hanging
go
out
with.
with
So,
you.
I don't go with any dude named Roach. You know what I'm saying? Pit bulls stick with pit bulls.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
But now, all jokes aside, though, man, I'm definitely intrigued to see that one. Um, Another conversation that came up just in the realms of boxing, that definitely intrigued me, um, is Terrence Crawford. You know, I know a few dudes was debating on the internet, um, who will win that fight. Well, Terrence Crawford actually put out a tweet, like the only dude that he believed, as far as um dudes that came before him that would have gave him some type of problems is Floyd Mayweather.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that kind of led to a debate. Um, I think we slightly spoke on this a little bit before, but I'd love to hear your take. Um, Hypothetically, of course, we can't never see it. How you
Yeah.
think that matchup would have played out? Floyd versus Crawford.
Whew. Yeah, that look, man. And I think, like you said, we touched on this before briefly. This is a tough one. And truthfully, you know how much I respect Mayweather in the boxing ring. I don't think prior to seeing the level that Crawford has elevated himself to, that I would have questioned that really none of these dudes, based on a weight class, could beat Mayweather. Just from the savant that he is in the ring. But like Crawford said in his tweet, we got to break this down based on errors. And again, I don't want you to think I'm straddling the fence because I'm not, but I'm going to
Okay.
break it down at errors, right? Would Crawford beat Pretty Boy? I'm talking about like Crawford was talking about before he, brittled his hands up and all of that. I'm saying no. I'm saying Crawford doesn't beat Pretty Boy Mayweather because I believe Pretty Boy has the offensive prowess to really put Crawford in his place the way you got to put a dominant thinker like that in his place. Like Crawford is mentally tough. The older Mayweather, we already know what he was doing. He was out thinking pot shotting dudes to keep them in a place. That pop shot is not going to keep a hungry Crawford at bay long enough. Mayweather was throwing his punch output got much lower as he aged and became Money Mayweather, and he was really pop shotting people to put in his put to put them in a place. He wasn't really giving dudes pure beatings. The last pure beating he gave was a Toro Gotti. That was the last person he really gave a beating. I mean, he really just beat him up.
Yeah, but that was still
I
Pretty
said,
Boy. That was still Pretty Boy though.
yeah, again, but that was the last dude he beat up. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm talking about he beat him up. And he got a few knockouts after that. That was still the last dude he beat up. The last dude he really beat up and really was moving his hands once he basically took his weapons away and said, I'm going to finish you, was a Toro Gotti to me. To me, that Mayweather has to show up. If that Mayweather shows up, that Mayweather beats Crawford to me. The older Mayweather, the pop shotter, it's still going to be a hell of a fight, but I don't think Mayweather is going to do enough, and I don't think he's going to be able to have that low punch output round by round and keep and keep Crawford, this type of Crawford, off of him. Crawford eventually is like, yo, I'm going to take one to give two. And a lot of these fighters that fight Mayweather, they didn't have that same mindset and they wasn't as cerebral. And then you lay on top, Mayweather, he struggled when it came to what type of fighters? Southpaw fighters. Crawford is southpaw. So he's not going to come at you from a conventional standpoint. So when you start putting all of that into play, and he coming southpaw and Mayweather trying to pop shot him and all of that type of stuff, I think the later on Crawford takes that win. And I can't even believe what I'm saying. I'm hearing myself say it and I can't believe it, but I'm giving you my honest opinion on it. And this is what it is, yo. And I know how crazy it sounds, but this is what it is, yo.
I
It
disagree
is
with
what
you.
it is.
I
Yeah, I
disagree. I
already know.
disagree. I
But but
disagree.
but
I
but that's what
disagree.
it is.
You're gonna be surprised what I disagree with. I don't think he beat the older Mayweather. I think he beat the younger Mayweather. Here's why. When you talk Pretty Boy Floyd, he was more offensive, right? He let his hands go more, which made him more liable to get hit. I think Pretty Boy Floyd, he used his legs more for his defense, and then I think he was a lot more easier to be touched. We think that
I
was that.
disagree.
No,
I
we think
disagree.
that we think that was that. I mean,
Yeah,
not saying his defense wasn't still elite. Not saying his defense wasn't still elite, but when you talk about Money Mayweather defense versus Pretty Boy Floyd, and I don't know if because he lets his hands go more, so now you more in position and he's thinking offense more. But Pretty Boy Floyd was more likely to get hit than Money Mayweather.
they
Than
both
Money
was
Mayweather. You
savants.
wasn't really touching Money Mayweather. You probably hit him with one shot, but you wasn't really touching him. Pretty Boy Floyd defense was, to me, in my opinion, was not as sharp as Money Mayweather.
Look, do you forget the punch he took from Sugar Shane
That
Mosley?
was Money Mayweather. One shot.
That's my
Exactly.
point. And if Crawford hit you with that, one of the best finishers that we've ever seen is over. That fight is over.
I don't know about that. I
You
don't know
don't
about
know
that.
about,
I don't know.
yo, the
You
noodle
got to
legs.
forget, even though that was the older Mosley, people forget that was the Mosley that just finished beating on
I
Antonio
don't
Margarito.
care.
That was the
I
Mosley that
don't
was
care.
finishing dudes.
Mosley has never been Crawford.
Of
And
course
he's
not.
and I'm Crawford is one of the best finishers we ever seen. He gets somebody hurt, they done. And Mayweather was on noodle legs. And you
Yeah,
know Mayweather is my
but
guy.
again,
He
that's getting lucky. Look, okay, I'll give you that. If he got lucky and hit him with one or
it's
whatever the case
over.
might
Don't
be,
start stuttering.
maybe.
If he had hit him with that shot,
Yo,
if Crawford
Floyd,
got him in that same situation, that fight is over. And they
Mike,
talking about a
we
rematch.
look. This how legit when you talk about Money Mayweather. You realize the dude Mosley didn't hit him again. He caught
I
him with
get
that
all that.
shot and didn't hit him again, Mike.
Look, no, he
So
hit
it's
him
like,
again.
so you still
He
making my
hit him
point at
again.
how
He hit him
elite.
again right after. He hit him again right after that.
Yeah, he got the noodle lays, and after that, he ain't hit him again.
No, I'm just saying. I'm
He
just
ain't hit him
saying.
again.
If we gonna call it right, he did hit him again.
Yeah, well, I'm counting the second one. I'm counting the one that really made him buckle. So after that, he
Yeah.
didn't hit him again. After that,
Yeah,
he
look,
hit him again. He hit him for
yo,
the rest of
don't
the
think
fight.
for 1 sec. Don't think for 1 second I'm knocking any Mayweather. Like I
But this
told
this
you.
the point that I'm saying, Mike. So let's use that same example with
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah,
Boy
but you
Floyd.
lost. You lost that argument.
No,
Just so you
I
know.
didn't. Cause look,
Yeah, yeah, you did.
let's use that same example with Pretty Boy. Pretty Boy is gonna get more offensive if he get hit. So I just think he had
But
more
he still was.
opportunities
He still
because
was a.
go ahead.
He still was a thinker.
No, I'm
So
not
I
saying he
feel
wasn't
like.
sharp. I'm not
So if
saying he
he
wasn't.
felt like he was in danger because of the so many styles, and this is what you needed to fight Crawford. This is why Crawford is who he is, pound for pound, the top dude, in my opinion, in boxing. Because all the styles he can beat dudes with, and Pretty Boy had all those same styles. The thing that separates them as they aged is Mayweather didn't have the same offensive ability that this Crawford got at this age. He
I
couldn't
agree.
just beat somebody up. That's what I'm saying.
I agree, but you
So
gotta understand, Mike. You're
Crawford,
not
but
touching
but but let me
Floyd.
say this,
You're
then
not
I'm gonna hear
touching
you
Money
out.
Mayweather.
I'm gonna hear you out. But Crawford is a stubborn, he's a stubborn type of fighter, man. His
That,
mental is just as strong. So all of that just pop shotting. When you look at Mayweather and you look at the top fights, most of them, all he did was pop shot them and put them in a place. He took away a weapon or two and he pop shotted them and said, "Hey, stay there. Hey, don't do
but
that.
that's what
Stay
I'm
there."
saying, Mike. This is what I'm saying. The Pretty Boy Floyd would have tried to walk through Crawford because he seeked to destroy. Like Pretty Boy Floyd
Once he
wasn't
seen the
just
no, but once he seen the
hold.
opening,
Let me
because
finish,
Pretty
Mike.
Boy
Let
was
me finish.
still using the ring and all
I'm
that.
not saying that, but what I'm
All right, go
saying
ahead. I'm gonna
is
let you rock. I'm gonna let you
he
rock. Go ahead.
pretty when you talk about Pretty Boy Floyd, he wasn't just satisfied with winning the fight. He wanted to dominate it, and he wanted to dominate it offensively. When you talk about Money Mayweather, he'd win the fight on the jab if he had to. He'd
Mm-hmm.
just say, "Yo, you can't hit me, and I'ma jab you all night. Figure this shit out."
Mm-hmm.
That's not Pretty Boy Floyd. He not just trying to win a fight. He want to dominate the fight. And with that, I feel like he opens up more. And to Crawford credit, I don't see nobody walking through Crawford. I've been said that. I said that
Mm-hmm.
with Earl Spence. You ain't walking through Crawford. So that's why I feel like Crawford, if he had a chance of beating any Floyd, I think it's Pretty Boy because Pretty Boy ain't just comfortable with, oh, I just outbox you. He was never just comfortable with that. He wanted to dominate dudes. And that was offensively. It wasn't, oh, I just outbox you, you can't hit me, and I'm looking at the ropes like he did the that wasn't Pretty Boy. He had that. He still had defense with him. But he let his hands go a lot more because he wanted to seek and destroy. And he felt like he had the power to seek and destroy.
Yeah, but he gonna find. Here's where you and I disagree. Pretty Boy had all the tools to win against anybody, and this is why I say Crawford wanting to beat Pretty Boy because not only was his mind sharp, but he had this kind of approach that by any means necessary, I'm winning. I'm winning.
No, I
By any
disagree.
means
That's
that
more, nah, Mike. I
no, no,
disagree.
no, no, no,
Go
no.
ahead.
You're not hearing me. You're not hearing me. Because Money Mayweather, right? He had a similar approach with not all the same tools at his disposal. So he had to get a beta dude into fighting a certain fight so he can take advantage of him. Again, his punch output looked a lot different from Pretty Boy to
But why was
Money
that, Mike?
Mayweather.
Why was that? Because when he had dudes in
But
control of
he
the fight,
didn't have
hold
that,
on, Mike.
right? He
Mike, hear
didn't
me out
have
on
that
this.
in him at that point. And
No, not
I'm saying you need that. You need that tool to beat a Crawford. You
that's
need
when we
it.
disagree.
Yeah,
I think
I
that's the
believe you need it
worst. Look,
because he's not going to stop. He's not
remember
going
when
to
I
stop with
said
just the pop
Crawford?
shots.
Remember when I said with Crawford and Spence, and we was betting on that fight, and we was plotting who we could think on that fight, and I said, yo, Spence think he gonna walk through Crawford. One thing you not doing with Crawford, I don't care who it is, and we said the same thing with Canelo. You not walking through him. Pretty
And I
boy
remember you saying
Floyd,
that. Agree.
Pretty boy Floyd is not comfortable with just winning the fight. Money Mayweather is. Meaning, he's gonna, if he can feel whatever he gotta do to outthink his opponent, as long as it get him the W, he don't care how boring the fight is. He don't care how many chances he don't take. He don't care if he want to fight on 10 jabs. As long as he do enough to win the fight, he's walking out the ring with that. Pretty boy Floyd is not walking out the ring with any type of win. He felt like, yo, I'm the best thing there is. And not only I'm the best, I'm at my peak of my talent where I'm at. I'm trying to dominate. I'm trying to dominate. He wasn't just like, he was trying to get dudes out the ring, which lets me know he's going to let his hands go off. And you not walking through Crawford. So I
But
think if any
he ain't
Floyd
have to
that
walk through Crawford. That's what you're not understanding.
But
But
when you
he
start letting
did.
your hands go like you gonna
Yeah.
walk through a
But
dude,
you
yeah.
have to have that tool. You gotta have that tool in your tool belt
I
when it comes
disagree.
to a stubborn type of fighter like Crawford. Look, here's what we're not discussing, which is why I view the fight the way I view the fight. And this is all hypothetical. So even was whether one believe they right or wrong or whatever, we would never see it. So it is what it is. But here's why I actually see it this way. Because when people are watching a fight, they don't understand that when a boxer start outclassing another boxer or doing certain things to them, it's a mental game being played that the other boxer have accepted this. Like they've accepted it.
Mm-hmm.
So again, now Floyd can throw 10 punches in a round because you've accepted it non-verbally with your body language and everything that's going on. This acceptance, right? This non-verbal acceptance does not happen with Crawford. This is what I'm trying to explain to you. That I'ma just get you in your place with this little pop shine. No, you're gonna have to give this dude a beating. He's not accepting, you did this little move, you took away my jab, or you did whatever. Oh, now I'm gonna accept the way you want to fight for the next 10 rounds. That's not happening.
Yo, you
So
gotta hit him. I
this
don't care if he accepted or not. You gotta
no,
hit him.
but Money Mayweather did not have the tool in his tool belt to really put some lever on Crawford to make this dude, because he's never going to accept it. So what's going to happen at that point? Like, you think Mayweather is just going to keep going in his shell and pop shot him and throwing 30 punches in a round or whatever? No. Crawford is going to get more and more aggressive once he see, okay, this is the only thing you doing.
It don't matter how
That's it.
aggressive you get, Mike. It don't matter not with Money Mayweather. It don't matter how aggressive you get. You gotta hit the dude. Like that's the
Rah,
difference between the
rah.
two. Crawford defense to
Money.
me never been of a
Let me
flaw.
say that. Let me say this,
Floyd
and
gonna
then I'm gonna
touch
let.
you and you not touching him.
But let me say this. Let me say this, Rah. Right? When it came to Money Mayweather, all his top fights, and this is what people don't understand in just pertaining to sports. Things are won mentally before they won physically.
100%.
Every opponent that Money Mayweather beat, he beat mentally before he beat them
But
physically. This is
how,
what I'm
Mike?
trying to.
How is the question?
Yeah, but this is what I'm trying to get across. And we touched on this before, and that's why I said I would never go against Crawford again. When a dude is that tough mentally, and he realized, this is what you're doing. Money Mayweather, he moved around the ring, he counterpunched, he pop shot. He wasn't giving people beatings. He really wasn't. He wasn't really just like, I got this dude basically uh to his lowest level of boxing. Now I'm gonna get him out of here. He didn't have that tool in his tool belt like that no more. And what I'm saying when it comes to a Crawford, you're not just going to win that mental battle to that degree where he just submit to another
We
nine,
agree on
10
that. I'm
rounds,
gonna tell you where we
or however
disagree.
you want to fight.
This
That's not
this
going
what
to
we
happen.
this what we disagree at. You believe that Floyd have to be more offensive, for him to actually win that fight. That's why you look at Pretty Boy, of Crawford not beating that. I think it's the
Agreed.
actual opposite. I think the defensive Floyd is more discouraging for Crawford because the offensive Floyd just makes a dude makes you more able to get hit. The defensive Floyd that he grown into, yeah, he beat those dudes mentally, and the reason why he beat them mentally, because who want to keep getting hit upside their head, and every time you throw a punch, you can't hit this nigga. Like, like
But Rob,
you do that for
but you
12
not,
rounds, you're like, yo, what the fuck? So somebody got to show me they was able to crack that defense, and nobody had been able to do that. On the other end, when I look, and that's why I said Crawford facing Pretty Boy Floyd, he wasn't as much as he was great defensively his whole career, but he wasn't a defensive savant. He was as Money Mayweather. And maybe because he opened himself up more to finish duels and things of that nature. I'm not too sure why. But in my opinion, humble opinion, I think he was a way more defensive savant. And yeah, I don't think you make Crawford submit. I
I
100% agree with you. But that don't mean you win the fight because you got to
yeah,
show me you can hit this nigga.
yeah, but I think Rod, he had to be more of a defensive savant. That's what I'm getting to. And I think we glossing over that Crawford had that downloading ability as well.
That's true.
That he's in front of his fighter and he just downloading. He
Yeah,
downloading.
that's
He
true.
looking at your skill set. He looking at your weaknesses, what you do well. Like one of the few fighters that have that ability,
Yeah. Look,
like
it would have been a
Mayweather.
hell of a fight. Even it would have been a
Yeah,
hell
it
of a
would have
fight.
been a,
I'm just
and
saying
I'm not,
which version
yeah, and
I
I'm not
think
saying
you.
I'm right. And again, I'm not saying I'm right. You get what I'm,
Yeah.
because again, this could go either way. Like it's so difficult
Yeah,
to
and
really
what tell you,
discuss.
Mike? Let me say this. It also tell you how great Crawford is, and we can
Yeah,
end it at that because I don't have no fighter in Mayweather class from any era. I don't care what these dudes talk about. Roberto Duran, Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard. I don't got none of these dudes beating the Floyd.
yeah, they all losing to me. They all
I don't
losing.
got none of these dudes being. So the fact that we even sitting here saying, yo, if anybody that Terrence could possibly see Terrence Crawford beating a Floyd, a version of Floyd, it says a lot about Terrence Crawford. And
Yeah.
part of that is what you were just going into, which he don't get enough credit for, how he download data. He pick
Mm-hmm.
up on what dude's doing. You know what I'm saying? And then there's a rap. And Floyd always been that one in no shoes. He never been had to deal with that. He never had to deal with
Somebody
somebody
doing that.
downloading his
Mm-hmm.
data and now I'm gonna punish you for the shit that you doing. You get what I'm saying? I'm gonna make
Mm-hmm.
you pay. So the mental aspect of the game, Crawford have, and he does that just as elite as a Floyd. Only reason why I'm giving Floyd the nod and why I gave it to him on the older Mayweather, even though he wasn't as explosive offensively. Only reason why I'm giving it because I just haven't seen nobody crack the defense. When I'm looking at defense and I'm looking at the chess match, I would say Crawford is a little bit more easier hit at any point in his career than Floyd always been, ever been.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah. But
that's why
my,
I'm slightly giving a nod to Floyd, but I can see it either way. I
and
would
again,
love, I would have
and
loved
again,
if
Rob.
Crawford was just a little earlier, and and that would have been a hell of a
Oh
matchup.
yeah, yeah. That
A
that
hell of
would
a
have
matchup.
been. It would have been amazing. It would have been amazing to see. I'd have been at the edge of my chair with my nachos and my drink and everything ready to rock and roll.
And the funny
And I
thing,
don't want.
Mike, is we wouldn't have been too far from seeing that fight. You got to remember, Crawford was supposed to fight Pacquiao.
Yeah, yeah.
If Crawford didn't face all the politics behind his career, even though they slightly was on a different era, but Floyd on the latter end of his career era was still Crawford coming up, where we possibly could have saw that fight if it wasn't so much damn politics going on in sport.
Oh yeah, definitely. But that's what probably made Crawford who he is. He had to deal with all the politics, all the foolishness of people trying to stop him from getting the limelight and basically taking over boxing. And he's taking over boxing. And I'll leave us with this pertaining to that, Rah. That fight would have been so amazing. And this is why my take, because I literally thought about it when you said it. I really thought about it and tried to analyze it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Both of these dudes, A game, what they came in A wise is not working. What they came in B wise, it's not working. You get
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah, yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So
I
I
agree.
think I think both of them is gonna be on a C plan. And
I
I
get where you're
think the
coming from.
C and I
I
think
get
the
where you're
C
coming from.
plan of Mayweather is I'm gonna have to give him some of these gloves. I'm gonna have
Yeah,
to
I'm about to
really give
open
it.
up. I gotta
I'm gonna
open
have to
up.
open. Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to open up a little bit and give him some of these gloves. And I'm not sure that Money Mayweather had that in his two belt, but
to go to that next level.
I
Yeah,
know
I get what you're
Pretty
saying.
Boy had that in his
Good
two
analogy.
belt. So when you on your C plan after dudes done downloaded data and took certain things away and all of that type of stuff, not only would it have been an amazing physical fight to watch, but the savantness of that fight would have
Yeah,
been impeccable. It would have been
yeah,
impeccable. It would have been impeccable. So again, I don't know which one is right or wrong. I'm just going my logic of why I see it the way that I see it. That's it.
yeah, yeah. I agree. I agree. Shit. If they come out with a fight night, maybe I'll put a simulation on. And the fight
Yeah,
starts and go.
there you go. There you go.
See what's going on top. But now,
Uh,
um, yo, oh, we got interesting matchup coming up. Cam Ward, Shedeur, man. Um, so much to speak on this.
yeah,
How do you
God.
see this matchup playing out?
I mean,
Oh,
when
matter of
they
fact,
took,
before I get to that, before we get to Cam Ward, something we didn't touch on. Um, yeah, we could go on to Cam Ward in a second. I want to touch on the Browns. I want to touch on the Browns and from the last game that they played. How did you? What was your take on Shedeur performance and what transpired and kind of if you kind of go into that?
so how we look at guys, based on sports. You're looking at them and you're trying to see how comfortable are they becoming? Are they growing? Are they doing things better from game to game? And me assessing Shedeur, I think all of those things was check marks for me, seeing him from week 1 to week 2. I think he did everything better week 2 than he did pertaining to week 1. I think they really had a shot against the 49ers. If it wasn't for your man, Kevin Stefanski, and his gambling, because can't nobody tell me this nigga don't gamble. He literally, real
Nah,
talk,
he need to
yo.
be investigated,
Real
sir.
talk.
He need to be
That play,
investigated, sir.
that play, when it was 10-8, the Browns was down by 2 points. They was in the third quarter. For you to be on your 29 or 25, wherever the hell they was at, you on your side of the field, and for you to go for it on
Fourth
fourth
and
and
one
one, after they already stopped you early in the game with that same stupidness,
with the elite
then you
defense,
announce,
and they
but bro,
never
hold
lose.
on.
Yeah.
Then you announce to the whole world, oh, we really about to try to pit bull, y'all. We just let's bring the big line up in, bring an extra offensive lineman and all of that type of stuff and go for it when you've been being real conservative the entire game and it's the score is 10-8. The score is 10-8. Yo, the minute they went for that and the 49ers stopped them, because most people know the 49ers is good at stopping the run anyway. So they literally stopped them and said, stop playing with me. Right after that, the game was over. So that game could have looked much different. So looking from that game to the week before, that this nigga, Kevin Stefanski, is literally punting at his what 29-yard
Yeah, they
line.
was on
I
the Raiders
mean, the other
29.
team,
Instead of kicking the field goal, he
the
punted,
other
right?
team 29-yard line. You could kick a field goal. You could kick a field goal and you punt. I've never seen
Look,
that
his
ever in football. I've
Mike,
never seen it in
I have
football.
multiple problems with Kevin Stefanski. And this is the thing with him. It's either you calling conservative or you not. Number one, that
Agreed.
49ers game, y'all ran the ball all freaking game. Y'all ran the ball all game. You didn't put the ball in Shedeur hand at all. You know, maybe it was the win, cool. So dudes understood. You know what I'm saying? That it must have been crazy when Gus is out there, whatever the case might be. So I get it. You went in with the game plan of running the ball, but that was very conservative. Very
Mm-hmm.
conservative. Right? So he played that whole game conservative. Then somehow forget the 4th and 1 on his side of the field. That's not forget earlier in the game he was on 4th and 1, and you could have got some points on the board with the field
Yup.
goal.
Kick the field goal. Yup.
Could have got field goal. So
Yup.
if I'm playing conservative, I'm playing conservative, right? So at this point, yo, let's kick this field goal. Let's put 3 points on the board. We're gonna play this conservative game. We're gonna put this in our defense hands, and then we're gonna ask for our quarterback to close the game out. That's what I was expecting. You get what I'm saying? Let's keep it
Mm-hmm.
close. They can't score on us. We not doing too great scoring the rock, but we moving the ball pretty well. Let's keep this game close, and now see if we can close this out. But we're not gonna
Mm-hmm.
beat ourselves. That's basically what you're saying when you calling like that. We're not gonna beat ourselves.
Exactly.
They're gonna have to beat us.
Exactly.
So you don't kick the
Exactly.
field goal. That's not conservative, right? After you've been all of your plays have been conservative. Then you on your side of the field, like you said, 4th and 1. And then you again, instead of being conservative, a 10-8 game, you're only down by 2 points in the third quarter. 10-8 game. And 49ers have not moved the ball on y'all besides that last 2-minute drive.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So
Yup.
again, instead of punting the ball, you goes again 4th and 1 and don't get it. When your offensive line ain't like that. Y'all not just moving dudes, so it don't make sense.
Yeah.
And then what make it even worse, like you said, is you let it be known you running the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You go bring the same thing you did on the other end, bringing the
Yup.
extra linemen and
He
all the
did the same
stupidness.
thing. He did the same thing.
Same thing. So you let it be known you running the ball. You didn't get it before, but now you're gonna do it on your side of the field for no reason, right? It ain't like a have to or must get because they not moving the ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
You turn that over. That was game right there. And then from there, it
Yup.
just went crashing because now you got the fumble punt. Now you got, and my whole
Mm-hmm.
thing with this dude is either you being conservative or not. Let's go back to the Raiders game. The Raiders
Mm-hmm.
game, it was a 4th and 1. I ain't talking about the when he ended up punting at the end of the game when he could have got an extra 3 points. The game was already won. I'm talking about, remember earlier in the game, it was either a 4th and 1 or a 4th and 3. And they was on the Raiders side of the field earlier in the game. And
Mm-hmm.
he didn't go for it. He punted it.
Yeah. Yeah, he punted it.
This is
Yeah,
what I'm
I
saying.
know
Like,
this.
yo, you gotta let me, like, yo, it's either you either playing conservative or you not. You get what I'm saying?
See,
Like,
Rah,
your
you like
play
me.
calling
You
is
look, you looking for logic and consistency. But gamblers can't give you that because they going based.
yo, but
I'm
you
just
know what's
calling.
so sad, Mike? The sad
Yo,
part
son
is,
he gambling, yo.
yo, Mike,
He
I would be
and
look, I
Rah,
would be happy if he's gambling right now.
he yo,
I would
and
actually be happy
but
because
Rah, I'm gonna
that's the
keep it a
only thing
buck.
that can explain the shit he doing.
Yo, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. If I'm the daggone Browns organization, if I find out the nigga not gambling, I'm firing him. Cause that let me know his level of stupidity.
Yeah, real
Yo,
talk. Real talk.
we could correct you by possibly gambling. We can we can correct that, son. It's all type of AA meetings, phone call,
Yeah, yeah.
hotlines, whatever. Yo, we could possibly correct that. Maybe
Yeah.
you sit out for a half a year, we send you to Gamblers Anonymous, whatever. But if you got a good head on your shoulders, again, we could possibly correct. the negativity, because what you was doing was based on gambling, not stupidity. But
Yeah.
if he wasn't gambling, I'll be the first dude with a press conference if they was like investigating him. Yo, due to the investigation of them finding out that this dude was innocent, we firing him on the spot, and we firing him on the grounds of stupidity. You cannot
Yeah.
be this dumb and be a head coach in the NFL.
That's what I
No
said, Mike.
questions. And I'm leaving the podium. No questions. Like, yo, don't
Yo,
ask me no questions. Like, you heard what I said, yo. Because when you punting on the other team 29, when you could be kicking field goals, and then the next week you going on your 29 or 25 when the game is 10-8. It's 10-8. A field goal, Rah. A field goal put you in a lead. It's 10-8. And you trying to play conservative, like you said, the entire game. For the most of the game, they did no play action. Every first and second down, they was running the ball. Every first and second down. Like, you knew it was like clockwork. This was like child's play type of strategy, yo. This was the game plan. And I get it. Like you said, the winds was out, whatever the case may be. So now you got to play the conditions, and you got to play you just wanting to be conservative and giving yourself a chance to win, because the 49ers wasn't really doing nothing with the Browns defense. And you go on your 20 whatever yard line, and you ran the ball on that third down. They stuffed you, which put it to 4th and 1.
yeah, then you
And
go to
then
run
you
it with
let's send out the big.
Mike. They don't even got their starting linemen at that. They don't even
Yeah,
got their most of their linemen, and then it's backups right now. Like, what are
yeah.
you
That
doing?
dude,
What
look,
are you doing? Yo,
his
I hope.
best, yo,
Look, I hope the
his,
man is gambling, son. I literally
yeah,
hope the man is gambling, because that's the only way to explain the play calling this man has been making. That's the
Rob, what
only
else?
thing. Like, I
But what
look,
else
if
makes
he's
sense?
gambling, Mike, I'll be the first one to say he shouldn't lose his job. I'll be clapping for the man, son. This like he's gambling. Don't send him to jail, none of that, yo. That dude should go to some type of gambling rehab. We could work on it, like you said. But if he not
Yeah.
gambling, that nigga, yo, he need to be fired, yo. He need to be
Yo,
fired.
Rob,
And I
the
had to
next
call
per
for that man's job. You know, I was the first one like,
Rob,
yo, I think they should have played out the year. This is bad, yo. It's bad.
look, Rob, what else makes perfect sense? Look, think about it. If you are literally punting on the other team 29, that means you try not to get no points, which means you playing the under, which means you going against your own damn team, right? And then you going on your own side of the field, again aligns with you taking the under, going against your own team, yo.
Yeah.
Everything you doing, when you look at it, it looked illogical, but it's logical if you attach the gambling component to it. If you attach the gambling component to it, yo, everything he did was logical. If I didn't know gambling exists, I would never be able to put logic to this. I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, somebody, the best football mind couldn't explain this logic to me. They
Yeah.
couldn't,
It don't make
because
no
there's no
sense.
logic to it.
It don't
What
make
I
no
want to
sense.
see this dude do, right, moving forward, is I want that dude to stand up. My name is Kevin Stefanski, and I am a gambler. Like, yo, it's like you gotta announce it. You
And I
gotta
don't
announce it.
and look, when I say gambler, I don't mean risk taker. I mean
Yeah, yeah,
literally gambling.
yeah.
Literally
And
Vegas gambling. You know what I'm
And when
saying?
I
Like, this
leave
is
the
crazy,
podium,
son.
I'm getting checked in to Gambling Anonymous. I'm doing these things to better myself, better my family, and I apologize to
Yo,
my
ain't that
team.
dude like Italian or something like that?
I don't know. I don't know. Don't give
Yo.
me that. I don't know, yo.
I may have to look. That dude may be with the same dudes that contact Chauncey Billups, yo.
Yeah. No, Chauncey
Why you
said
find
he's
out
not guilty.
Stefanski?
Yo, look, Chauncey said he's not guilty, and that's my man. I'm rolling with him until
Yo,
they come out with some more evidence. That man is not
son,
guilty.
he may be
So,
not
so don't
guilty.
put him,
Look,
don't put
look,
him with the Kevin Stefanski.
look.
Don't
He
put him
may
with
be
him.
not guilty, but that don't mean he wasn't contacted, son. You know how these RICO cases go, son. You don't even got to
uh,
be guilty of the crime. You just get contacted and you in the RICO, son. You know what I'm saying?
oh
So,
man,
who knows? Stefanski probably gave his number up or something. I don't know, yo. But that dude,
yeah,
that's the only thing that makes sense. But what I wanted to touch on, what you were speaking on, because we kind of went into Stefanski and his gambling problems. Um, also, what I wanted to touch on was Shedeur performance. This is my
yeah,
take on that. He's the only rookie, and I'm looking at this. He's the only rookie that they put in these ridiculous expectations from. I think his performance have been tremendous, and here's why. All the rest of the rookies that's playing right now had a chance to practice. They got first team reps since the day that they walked in. They got a chance to build chemistry and different things of that nature with their receivers and with their offensive line and all that stuff. Of course, they just gave him nothing and threw him in the fire. Cool. But what we on week 2? If you look at the numbers of his performance versus all the rookies, even the top performing quarterback rookies, which would be considered Jackson Dart, and even your number one pick, with 2 weeks of no practice, I don't see the difference. I don't see the
yeah,
difference. You get what I'm saying? So with 2 weeks of just, and really a week and a half, because the other week was like a Thanksgiving week, so I don't even know if he got a full week of practice. So he probably got a week and a half of practice, because I'm sure they had some days off. So with a week and a half
hmm
of practice, not building no chemistry, no nothing, and for him to look, and I'm talking about statistical, to have pretty much the same statistics as a Jackson Dart, throwing for around the same amount of yards as them, and sometimes even more. And then your number one pick, that says a lot. I think he is over criticized. Like, for example, he's the only rookie that came in, I'm talking about rookie quarterback that been playing, that soon after the game is 100 or 22s of every freaking play of the game that he made.
hmm
And then people scoot, oh, he missed the pass here, or he should have hit him there, or he missed the pass here, he should have hit him there. Yo, maybe he haven't built that chemistry with dudes.
hmm
Going into the Judy situation, which people don't understand, remember his first interception was to Judy.
yeah,
And what was it based off of? He thought he was going to turn. He didn't turn. He threw it off of anticipation, thinking he going to do something. But because you haven't built that chemistry and you don't know how dudes move, he let it go, and he ended up throwing the interception. So if I don't know how
yeah,
to do breaking out a route, I can't throw with anticipation. And we all know to be an elite quarterback in the NFL, you got to throw with anticipation.
agreed.
So of course he may miss those, because if I'm not throwing you open and I throw it once I see you open, it may be too late. That's the difference from a completion and an interception in the NFL.
hmm
But he's the only one being judged on this crazy scale to me of, like I said, every game, like I don't see a all 22 for Jackson Dart. I don't see them. Of them breaking
hmm
every game down, or what passes he missed and what passes he didn't throw, and him not seeing this dude open or that dude open. I don't see a all 22 break down the Cam Ward. I don't see, and these supposed to be your first rounders.
hmm
But this kid, as soon as he play, 10 minutes later, you go on YouTube or go on social media, any social media platform, and you got a full breakdown of every freaking play that he did.
yeah,
And then dudes is pointing out, oh, he's not throwing with anticipation. He's not. Yo, if I don't know what you about to do, I can't throw with anticipation.
yeah, yeah.
Period. And if I
I don't
can't
just.
time your routes, I can't throw with anticipation. If I don't know you turning here or how you gonna turn here, if you go up 10 yards, or do you go up a little bit more than turn out, or do you slant it? Like, I may know the play calling, but that don't mean I know how you move. So if I throw a
hmm
little bit off here or a little bit off there, it's a wrap. Even the play he overthrew Judy, and I look back at it, that he threw it over his head. You could see he was leading him up the field, and Judy was running diagonal.
Mm-hmm.
So that stuff, and he speak about it in his press conference, and people try to act like they don't understand. That stuff take time to build. That's usually built in the off season. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, they didn't give this kid an off season. Instead of throwing to actual players, he was throwing to staff members, the mop man, the janitor, you know what I'm saying, the trash can. Instead of throwing to actual damn teammates because they wanted to blackball the kid. So he didn't get a chance to build that up. So I think what he's doing is impressive. Um, and we'll see this matchup with him and Ken Ward. But what you was about to say though?
Nah, I mean, I agree with you when it comes to a lot of the stuff that you said. I will say this pertaining to Judy, I got to touch on this pertaining to Judy.
Go ahead.
Like, these dudes, man, be prime time haters. Prime time haters. And I'm using those words exactly how I want to use it. Like, these dudes be straight haters, yo. And the
Mhm.
Judy dude, people don't understand the mental part of the game. A dude like that need to be checked, and he need to be checked immediately. One, you already know he not like that. You already played with two quarterbacks that was throwing the ball everywhere besides in your hand. You get what I'm saying? And you wasn't doing none of that. You wasn't doing none of that with Flacco or Dylan Gabriel. You wasn't doing none of that. And now you want to come to the sideline where you know the cameras is going to be and start clapping and do all this foolishness. If I was Shedeur, because I dealt with these things pertaining to playing basketball, and I made it known any dude that felt like he was going, try to highlight and, make something
show,
bigger than
show,
what it
yeah, show
is,
you up type
try to
shit.
show you up.
Hmm.
He looking for limelight time. I would tell a dude, the basketball version was, yo, you're about to run a lot of suicides. And anybody that understood that knew that, yo, you was going to be doing a lot of running without touching the rock. You know what I'm saying? So I would have turned this dude, Judy, to a track star this next game. This dude would be doing a lot of routes with no chance of touching the rock. And I'll make it clear to this dude. The next time you got something to say to me, dude, you come and say it to me with respect. Because coming with that type of energy, and this is what I always tell people, I have no problem with clashing with somebody that's trying to find a solution to a problem. You coming with that type of energy, you're not trying to find a solution.
I
You
agree.
coming with all the antics is really about, again, the limelight, and you trying to get some type of limelight. Because we already know you not like that. Like I said, you was already playing with two quarterbacks that was throwing a rock to everybody and everything besides you.
Word.
And you was just a good old scout boy out there, just doing whatever the team needed, no blow ups, no nothing. So again, I hate perpetrators. I hate
Yeah, I
perpetrators.
looked at
This
it.
dude is on, but Rod, this dude is on his second start. So if you are a veteran, you're supposed to be doing everything in your power to help his growth at this point. Not try to show him up or do all types of foolishness because you wasn't getting right prior to him. It's not like you was out there handling your business and now all of a sudden here he come and your stats is messed up and you fighting for a contract and you know how the incentives in the contract is with stats and all that. Nah, this dude is just a primetime hater, yo. And
Yeah.
Shedeur should show this dude better than he could tell him, yo. Because I had this dude running routes to his legs get rubbery without ever seeing that rock, yo. Period, yo. Because you not like that anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, Mike, Shedeur ain't in a situation to do that. But I'll tell you what I will do. Next time you fucking fumble the rock, oh, I'm making a big scene out of it. I'm making a big scene out of it. I'm not going. He's not in a position to avoid throwing it to him. He needs as much completion as he could get. So if the nigga open, he gotta him. He gotta hit him.
Yeah, I'm pump
But the
faking that
next
nigga.
time,
I'm just, and I'm just telling you, yo.
he
I'm just
gotta hit
telling
him.
you. I'm hitting it.
But look, like I said, you just fumbled last week, and that was your biggest play of the season. Like you said, you had two quarterbacks that you had Flacco in the beginning that you wasn't getting right on with Flacco. Flacco was throwing more interceptions than fucking touchdowns. You wasn't getting right with him. Then you had Dylan Gabriel just throwing at the people's feet. He couldn't throw it beyond 5 yards. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? So you was already running suicides. And then number three, when Shedeur got in the game, y'all niggas wasn't even used to fucking running hard, running y'all routes hard.
yeah. Real
Let's not
talk.
forget the Raiders game. He aired it out to him before him running on a 1-on-1, and the dude wasn't even running because he wasn't
Yeah,
respecting the ball.
yep. I remember that. And did Shedeur try to chew him out? Nah, nothing. Because Shedeur body language is one of the best I've seen at the quarterback position. Some of these quarterbacks and their body language be
Oh, give me one
atrocious.
second, Mike. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, like I was saying, these daggone quarterbacks, normally they body language, even our top quarterbacks, is atrocious. Shedeur
Mm-hmm.
has been groomed right. The way he lead and play that quarterback position. He don't show these dudes up. I'm pretty sure a lot of times they do incorrect things, like you was talking about, pertaining to that route Judy ran. We all saw that. This dude stopped running, the ball up in the air. He did like, yo, what are you doing? Shedeur
Yep.
didn't chew this man out, didn't do anything. So again, like I said, these dudes be prime time haters, yo. They be prime time haters. And if you got a rookie quarterback, you know everything this dude had to endure. You know the spotlight is on him. He got all the pressure. You are supposed to try to help facilitate his growth, not all of a sudden try to highlight negative things, especially when you fumbled like an idiot the week before doing that stupidness you
Yeah,
was doing out in a open field. Like, come on, my man.
and
Like, what are you talking about?
I'm gonna hit you with something else. Remember when Shador first got in the game? Now this wasn't Judy, and that's how you know what would be going through dude's head, right? Remember, I think the dude Bond, the Isaiah Bond kid, who's also a rookie. Remember, he was
Mm-hmm.
wide open. He threw up his hands or some shit like that. Remember
Mm-hmm.
the Baltimore
Mm-hmm.
game? He threw up his
Yeah, yeah,
hands or
I
whatever the
remember.
case might be, like that or whatever. Yo, y'all dudes acting like y'all was playing with some elite quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't seen nobody throw up a hand to Dylan Gabriel. I watched him throw it at dude's feet, literally. And they was
Mm-hmm.
only 5 yards away. I watched him sell a pass over a dude head out of bounds on the screen pass. Nobody threw up their hands.
Yeah,
Nobody threw up their
yeah.
hands. Nobody complained. So if y'all could play with that BS for 6 weeks, yo, man, y'all dudes should be freaking at that man's feet kneeling, saying thank you. That's what y'all should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what y'all should be doing. Because now y'all actually able to make some goddamn plays that y'all didn't even have a chance to make it.
Yeah, but I'm
You
gonna
know what I'm
make
saying? But you see the Isaiah Bond dude, he ain't do none of that after he caught that damn deep ball that Shedeur threw him in the Raiders game. You see it,
yeah, of course,
all of it, none of that's going on now.
of course.
So you
But
already know, dude, these dudes already came in trying to show somebody out. Like, dudes be hating, like, oh, he ain't really like that. And, he
yeah,
coming in with his hype and da da da.
but
Like, yo, these
Ra,
dudes is corny, man.
yeah, but let me say this, and then we could kind of move on pertaining to it, right? One of the things, and I don't think people even touch on it because I don't really listen to other people speak on these things, so I don't know what they touching on. But you can let
Mm-hmm.
me know whether people touch on this or not, right? One of the things that happens in organizations is people see how the organization treat a player to determine if they can show them up and all of that, especially people,
Absolutely.
right? Especially people that's not validated. Like you not validated yourself. You got to worry about your job and what you got going on. You ain't got time to be throwing up your hands. You don't got time to be doing none of that. You still fighting for a roster spot and don't know what your future gonna look like next year, right? But
Mm-hmm.
when they see the level of disrespect that Shedeur has endured from the organization, from the coaching staff, from everything, that sends the signal that this dude could be disrespected. This is why you see the difference when it comes to a Flacco and a Dylan Gabriel. They were showing Dylan Gabriel so much respect that yeah, dudes ain't throwing up their hands. Because you know when a dude get that red carpet, that red carpet treatment from an organization, you know, if you're not going with that, especially if you ain't no top dude producing, yo, you may be writing your own trade ticket out of town, my guy. So
Yeah.
you better be in line. And to me, I'm not sure if people were touching on that, but this is the underbelly of sports, right? That people do what they are allowed or able to get away with from a respect standpoint, right? Pertaining to the organizations. And because Shedeur, again, was basically blackballed, and because he wasn't the top pick or the second pick in the draft like he should have been, going number one or two in the first round, now he don't have that red carpet and that respect that comes with the organization. So now dudes feel like they could treat him like Joe Blow, even though they know he ain't Joe Blow.
Yeah. 100%.
So,
Hundred
so,
percent.
so now you got random dudes throwing their hands up. You got a dude that literally just fumbled last week on one of the best plays he probably had all season, and you got the nerves
It
to
was
get
the
in the
best play
camp.
he had all season.
Yeah, but Rod,
That was
you
his
got the
biggest play he had
nerves.
all season.
Yeah, but you got the nerves to get in the camera next week and start doing a tantrum? Yo,
Yeah.
come on, man. Those wounds is still open from last week, what you did, yo. Like, let the wounds heal a little bit before you even say anything. If
Yeah,
you're
but
going
you
to
know
say
what it is.
anything at all.
Dudes be misdiagnosing things too, and I don't want to get off of this because I ain't really want to stay on that. But dudes be misdiagnosing things, and I think not just the media have misread Shador, but sometimes that be your teammates as well. And what I
Mm-hmm.
mean by that is coming from the home he come from, a little bit well off. Dudes may get the impression that he's soft, and that's
Mm-hmm.
one thing that kid not like. That kid ain't soft.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
that's what transpired too. You get what I'm saying? Because like you was referring to, when you don't have that red carpet laid out and things of that nature, you just trying to get your stuff together. You don't really got
Mm-hmm.
time to really be checking dues and da da da. You just trying to make sure your stuff is in order, so when you get the
Yep.
opportunity, you can perform. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that come with just a misunderstanding of who they dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Because even in that conversation, you see Son doing all the clapping, but when Shador stood up, the clapping stopped.
Mm-hmm.
He went
Yeah.
clapping all crazy. You see Shador recognize what it was, because you could tell he was still looking at it from a play standpoint, like, oh, the dude frustrated. Till he saw, oh, this dude just keep clapping and stand. So you see he stood up. Like, yo, what the hell are you talking about? And once he did that,
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden the clapping stopped. I think that even caught him by surprise, and you could tell it caught him by surprise just by the reaction.
Yeah.
Just by the
Yeah.
reaction. So I think that was part of it as well. But I want to really move on to something else. Um, Still kind of sticking on Shador, and then we can kind of wrap this up with how we think this game gonna go. But um, this whole thing of Cleveland taking a quarterback in this next draft. What's your takes on that? If you can make it quick.
Yeah. I mean, what you want me to say? Stupid is as stupid does. You get like what we talking about? You get what I'm saying? Like, that's my take. Stupid is as stupid does.
Yo, but I agree with you. If them dudes take a quarterback next year, is the most stupidest, retardedest thing you could ever do. You got a first round talent, and you got a first round talent and a fifth round, so you got it for cheap. When you're already paying Deshaun Watson all this money, so the best thing that could happen to you if you're not going to play Deshaun and ride him out and put him back on the field is having and going along with Shedeur and now you got a quarterback, a starting quarterback for cheap. Which if you draft
Mm-hmm.
somebody in the first round, which you would be overdrafted. Let me speak on this. First of all, what quarterbacks it is to draft in the first round? Because if you put Shedeur in this class that's coming out, he'd be the number one quarterback in this class, hand down.
Yeah, hands down.
They wouldn't
Hands
even be
down.
sniffing him. Like you wouldn't even be able to make up something on why these other quarterbacks is even close to him. And that's from the eye test and that's statistically. Like people only talk about his completion percentage. People forgot he was top 5 last year in 4 different categories in college football. So it wasn't just the
Yeah.
completion percentage, and no other quarterback did that. Not Cam Ward, not Jackson Dart, not any other quarterback you drafted before him. Ended top 5 in 4 different categories by the end of the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you
So
know you don't got no disagreements with me.
statistically, he's blowing waters out of any quarterback that's coming out. So who the hell are you drafting? If you was to put him back in college, I'm sure Dion wish he was able to do that shit if he saw this coming. But if
Yeah,
you
of
was put him
course.
back in college, he's the top quarterback coming out right now without any BS. If we just calling it a spade a spade. So
Mm-hmm.
number one, who out there that you running to get? That's number one. It ain't even nobody to run to get. Number two, all the money you paying Deshaun Watson, you the best thing you could do is get a quarterback for cheap. What you gonna do? Get a draft and do in the first round and go pay him 40, 50 million? And then on top of that, you got other problems. So what quarterback is you putting back there? You don't got an offensive line. You don't have top receivers. So you're gonna go
Yeah.
and take a rookie quarterback that haven't dominated college, because none of these dudes have dominated college.
Yeah, period.
None of them. None of them, whether it's the Mendoza kid of Indiana, whether it's the Alabama quarterback, whether the quarterback from Oregon, none of these quarterbacks have dominated college. So you're going to take a dude that didn't even dominate college and they just popping up on the scene on the college level as considered an elite quarterback. This is their first year being considered that. And then now you're going to take them and put them under a terrible offensive line and no wide receivers. This is why you've been looking for
Stupid.
quarterbacks for 30, 40 years.
Yeah, stupid is
You know what
as
I'm saying?
stupid does.
So they best bet, if they smart, in my opinion, is allow this kid to play these last 5 games or whatever's left. Um, and then start fresh with him starting next season and give him a full runway of a full year of being able to work out with these dudes, build around him, get some more what's in it, and then you give him a full year like you would do a first rounder. You give him a full year and see how that looks. You know what I'm saying? If he's looking this good, like I said, with only 2 weeks of practice, then like he said, what you think a whole off season look like?
Mm-hmm.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah, I
So
agree. I
that's
agree.
my
It
that's
ain't
my
much
take.
to
That's my take on that. But last but not least, man, give me your take on this game with the Cam Ward and Shedeur battle. How you see that playing out?
I mean, I believe Cam Ward is extremely talented. Do I believe he should have been the number one pick? No. I think Shedeur should have been the number one pick, and he should have been the number two pick. That's how high I am on Shedeur abilities and skill set. The way I think this plays out is the Browns defense is going to be too much for Cam Ward in that offense. I think they get dominated by the defense. And I think Shedeur and, the Browns offense make enough plays to win the game. So I think the Browns win this game pretty easily from a defensive standpoint. Again, I think the Browns defense is too much for a lot of our vets, let alone Cam Ward. I think it's going to be some struggles there dealing with that defense and whether they offensive line can keep these boys off of them and playing the sack game. I think it may get tough and rough, based on that Browns defense.
Look, I agree with you 1,000%, and I think that's the best thing that could have happened for Shedeur. And the reason why I say that is because Cam Ward been able to fly under the radar because everything been on Shedeur. Remember, I was just making the point earlier of after every game, and this dude only played 2.5 games, you got an all 22 breakdown from at least 100 people giving you a breakdown of every play and every pass this kid throw. Talking about Shedeur.
Mm-hmm.
Here we have Cam Ward. We on what? Week 13, 14, whatever it is. Oh, we haven't played a whole season, and I haven't seen one all 22 breakdown of Cam Ward. And if it's out there, it haven't been harped on. So he, I think,
Mm-hmm.
flew under the radar. And the problem with that is I think a lot of times when you judging, at least for the outside world, is when you're trying to judge how good a person playing, and the stats is not blowing you away. That's why we say numbers lie,
All the
right?
time.
When the stats is not blowing you away, sometimes to put things in the proper perspective, you need the a proper comparison, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think in order for to be appreciated what he had done in this short amount of time and the way he have looked in this short amount of time is now taking Cam Ward and now people the light is on Cam Ward. So
Mm-hmm.
all the flaws and everything that he's doing as a rookie, you're able to compare and contrast. And I felt like Shedeur had been getting judged on the Allen. He's
Mm-hmm.
being held to a different standard that nobody else is being held to because all the light is on him. Right?
Yeah.
So I think with this battle here, I think is the best thing that could have happened for him. I see the game playing out how you feel it should play out, but even to kind of piggyback on my point while I'm saying that, I never saw a statistic for any quarterback of how long he hold the ball. They literally came out with a statistic after the 49ers game that Shedeur hold the ball for 3.37 seconds. The longest of any, I think I forgot what was the record, but it was like the longest of any quarterback or some crazy shit like that, right? 3.37. I never saw that statistic. This is what I'm talking about, like
Mm-hmm.
over criticized, over scrutinized, over evaluated with everything that he do. And then we look at the statistics. Cam Ward is actually leading the NFL in sacks.
Mm-hmm.
He's leading the NFL in sacks, but nobody talk about it. Nobody talk
Yeah.
about it. We knew him coming out of college. They talk about Shedeur holding the ball too long. Shedeur actually had a bad line, which is an oxymoron. Like it don't even go together. You can't say somebody hold the ball too long with a bad line because that means they coming through too fast for you to even hold the ball for too long. If your line breaking
Mm-hmm.
down in 2 seconds or 1 second, how can you even hold the ball for that long when you're gonna be sacked in a second? So it doesn't make sense to me. But anybody when I watched Cam Ward out of college hold the ball for a long time was Cam Ward to me because he had a great
Mm-hmm.
line. He was able to sit there for 6 seconds, eat a sandwich. You used to say it when I told you to watch
Yeah.
Cam Ward. You was like, yo, I can't really
Mm-hmm.
judge the kid from that one game because he was back there eating a sandwich.
Yeah. He
That
really
was just
was.
exact words.
He
That was just
really
exact
was.
words. He
His
had a
jersey, his jersey looked like one of those Tide commercials. Like like he he was
yo,
protected better than the
he
president.
was Mike. He was back there chilling.
So,
So
but
I
he
knew.
talented. He
No, he
talented,
definitely
but
talented,
they was
but
they was dealing with different circumstances.
circumstances. But the
So.
point I'm getting to is his flaws haven't been scrutinized and pointed out because Cam Ward always had the problem of flaw of holding the ball too long. But
Hmm.
he just had a super great offensive line, so he didn't get set to show that, oh, he holds the ball for too long. Now he gets into
Hmm.
the NFL and you see he holds the ball too long. How we know that? Because his line is not the same, and now he's leading the NFL in sacks.
Yeah.
So, but the goal in the game, I kind of went on a tantrum there. The goal in the game, I definitely see the Browns defense dominating him. When you that line ain't gonna be able to hold up against Mal Garrett and them boys. Um, and I think they're gonna give a lot of short field positions to Cleveland. And if you do that,
Mhm.
this ain't Dylan Gabriel. That boy is
Yeah,
getting in the end zone. He getting in the
yeah.
end
Which
zone. You can't
which
give
he
him
haven't
most of
had
the
much
shit.
of that. He
He
haven't
haven't.
had much of that.
Haven't.
Yeah.
People forgot
So.
the Ravens game. Um, Dylan Gabriel had two short field goal, two short red zone positions that the defense gave him, and they got field goals out of both of them.
Hmm.
You give Shedeur that, he at least getting one touchdown, and he gonna
If
drive the ball down the field
Yeah,
at least once or twice.
if Kevin Stefanski let him throw it, they may just run it for 3 downs straight. So
Yeah, you got a
again,
point. Well, again, then
again,
you just throwing the game away. You know what I'm saying? There's
yo,
nobody else
he play, he
we
playing he playing the under. Like I said, he play, I think playing the under.
Yeah,
So
but
again,
look, yeah, what you about to say?
no, I was just saying
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
but
I see. I
I'm gonna
see
leave
this
it
man
at
playing
that.
the under.
So, but yeah, as long as he actually let him take shots, I think they're gonna have some short field goal positions. I don't even think it's gonna be close. I think they smoked them. I think they smoked them, and I think for Shedeur, people gonna finally get to see rookie versus rookie, which is a little bit unfair to Cam Ward because of course Shadeur's not going against Cleveland defense.
Hmm.
So that's gonna be a
Exactly.
tougher task for Cam Ward. So you got to put that. But I'm just talking about when people look at certain things. Like I said, with Shedeur, when you watching people criticize his game, they're going to look at an all 22 breakdown. If you ask somebody right now, how Ken Ward looking, they're gonna send you Ken Ward highlights. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
they just not being judged on the same playing field. So I think it's gonna allow people to see them on the field together, um, and actually be able to properly assess what this kid have done in 2 weeks. I think he's gonna have a pretty good game. Hopefully Stefanski ain't gambling this week and allow him to let the ball rip. You know what I'm saying? Allow him to let the
Exactly.
ball rip. But yeah, I'll leave it there, man. A good speaking to you, man. Again, numbers lie. On that note, I'm out.
Always.